Hello there, I'm Clay, and I want to talk about the changes that are on PTR for Infighter or Skepper in our version, and tell you what they pretty much mean and what you can expect because they look like a buff, but are they really a buff? Who knows? We'll have to do some more math to actually figure that out. Also, the changes are preliminary. They are all on the PTR, which means public test realm. So they are subject to change. So they might increase more damage or lower it. It simply just depends on if their numbers add up and stuff like this. Pretty much to me, I've been playing Scrapper for like over half a year now on the Russian server, and I have around 1000 hours on Shokgen and about 300 hours on Taijutsu as Scrapper. And I'm a 1402 Scrapper right now on the EU server. And yeah, let's just go over the changes real quick. So first of all, one of the big things is that counterattacks, all of them are getting the back attack tag now instead of being head attacks. That means this skill, for example, um, round-up sweep is instead of being a frontal attack to do its main damage, it's gonna be changed to a back attack. That means it will profit from back attack master or like ambush master, or what's it called, backstep master, I think. It will profit from it and will deal more damage. Currently, I think I'll deal around 700 non-crit, 700k non-crit. It will pretty much ramp up to 1,000,000 non-crit, which is a very big buff, and it's pretty much your filler in Shockgen. If everything is on cooldown, like if all your skills, I'm on the wrong set by the way. If all of your 4 skills are on cooldown, you just use roundup sweep to filler and use your bar. Also, what you can do is, because this one costs 20 shock, and to do the max damage, you need around 78 on your death rattle. Yeah, 76 actually. Pretty much you need 76 what's it called here? Shock. Okay, it's still called shock. So you need 78 shock, so you can do a roundup sweep and then do death rattle to maximize your DPS, and it's gonna be way more effective now, because usually you overcap on shock energy if you play with shock gens 3, if you simply just do your normal rotation. And this will deal massive damage and will increase your damage by a lot, pretty much by 30%, because I think it was 5% more damage on back attacks, and with backstep master level 3 it's 25% more, so in total 30% more. That means the skill will do 30% more damage, which is a pretty good buff on a skill that resets itself on crit. That one already is very huge. Now let's get into the other changes that we are receiving. I'll have to go up top and then select Infighter. That doesn't work because of translate shit. Hold up. There we go. Okay. Now we're looking at it. So, first of all, stop it. First of all, we are getting a complete increase of 24% damage in PvE, which is pretty freaking good. I really like that they are doing something like this and are buffing Scrapper. But what it actually means is that they are buffing Taijutsu pretty much. Taijutsu currently on the Korean server is a little bit less damage than Shockgen. And I think it always have been, like Shockgen always have been higher damage if you can actually execute it. And due to a lot of Shockgen players in Korea playing Spirit Absorb, it's a lot easier to actually get your damage out than if you wouldn't. because the problem with Shockgen simply lies in that you can't get your damage out, unlike Taijutsu with that permanent uptime. But yeah, pretty much what they are doing is they're removing the attack buffs of forward blow, which is advancing strike, I think, in our version. No, charging blow and fierce tiger strike, right? They're pretty much removing the tripod that gives you the attack buff from them and changing it into the skills themselves, just dealing more damage. Pretty much, you use these skills on Taijutsu to get the attack ready buff, but what they pretty much did is for Taijutsu is instead of the attack ready buff, it just did flat out damage. What that means for Shockgen though is that you're losing a lot of damage, like on a let's say level 4 tripod, because this is what we can get. We're pretty much losing 25% damage on both our big hits, which is Death Rattle and which is Supernova. We're pretty much losing them, which is kind of bad. So we are at a net gain. Let me pull that up again. We're pretty much at a net gain from this buff. But the thing is, also our other skills are buffed, which is also good. It means we can spam more. Later on, we have more swiftness, we have more cooldown reduction, so we can spam abilities more. But that also counts toward forward blow. So it's really interesting if this is actually a buff or not for Shockgen. And here's the other thing. Fierce Assault, which gave you 13%, pretty much. Like, let's say 15%. Whoops. You were able to stack it. You're able to stack Fierce Tiger Strike and Charging Blow together to have to get a, I think, wait, let me math that. 40% damage increase on your big hits. That is a lot on Shockgen. For Taijutsu though, they're pretty much just changing the skill into dealing more damage, which is just great for Taijutsu. So what you're already seeing in those two skills is they're focusing a lot on Taijutsu and are actually nerfing Shockgen. At least this is how I see it. Because I see this as a Shockgen nerf, which I don't like because I'm a Shockgen player. They're pretty much changing push outs to simply just deal more damage on that tripod. I don't know which tripod that is. And I actually don't know if you use that. I'll have to check that. This is continuous push. Do you use continuous push? I don't think you do. I have to see the animation, but I think it's this tripod, right? Yeah. I don't know if you will use that. It is it's basically an attack buff, but you would lose crit rate. But later on, you have a lot of crit rate, so it is actually a buff for continuous push. So they're pretty much buffing continuous push, which is a good change for Taijutsu, certainly. Here we can see the counter attack changes, that they all changed to back attacks. And in general, like, all the skills are changed into back attacks. She didn't even know. Is this a counter? Is this to counter? No, it doesn't. Okay, that's very weird. Why it's a fun attack. I mean, you don't use this, but that's interesting. Also, critical blow isn't a counter either, and it got changed to back attack. I also don't understand why this is a frontal attack. It's kind of weird. Anyways, what they are also doing is they are changing this awakening, the mysterious blast formation, or blast of ruination. Mysterious blast of ruination. Yeah, okay. They are changing this into plain simply dealing more damage more consistently. They are changing the minimum distance of max damage to 3 meters instead of 2 meters. So straight up, it's just more damage. It's more consistent. Sometimes you got the lower spot because the boss moved like a tiny little bit. This just makes it more consistent. It's a great change. You use this awakening because it does more damage than the dragon thing. It's just slower, but that doesn't really matter. It's a very good awakening. And last but not the least, they are buffing the taijutsu engraving by 5% damage. Straight up, you can see it's a taijutsu increase. I'm not sure what they mean with in fighters top 10% damage and maximum damage in the top content. I guess it's just simply translation, and I can't really make up what they mean with this. But pretty much plain simply is taijutsu straight up got a nerf, got a buff, my bad. Taijutsu gonna be dealing way more damage now, but shock gen is concerning if this is actually a net gain. Because for me, it seems to be a net loss. I've never played shock gen on like 1500 eye level. Maybe it actually is a net positive because of the extra amount of cooldown reduction that you get from gems and everything. But we Koreans pretty much have to see and math it out to like see if this is actually beneficial for us shock gen players. But it certainly is for taijutsu players. So yeah, that's pretty much is what I wanted to say about the Infighter changes on the PTR, on the Korean PTR. They aren't coming anytime soon to NA. And even when they release on the live servers, I don't think they're gonna come anytime soon on NA. And yeah, I think you found this video interesting, and I hope I can see you on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Clayloid, and have fun in the game. Goodbye.